Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kiki, and today's video is going to be a super late June wrap-up video. I know we are like over halfway through July, and I would love to use the excuse that this is coming to you late because I've been super busy with work, which that is partially correct. But when I was setting up for this video and I was looking back at all the books I read in June, turns out it's because I think it's made me feel a little bit overwhelmed. I read 16 books in June, and that's a lot of books to read in 1 month. So I think I've been putting this video off. I didn't even do a June wrap-up post on my Bookstagram page because it just felt so overwhelming to pull that many books off my shelf to take a photo. I don't have a plan for this video or an order of how I'm going to do this. Usually with my wrap-up posts, I kind of go from 5 stars to 4 stars to 3 stars. Because there's so many books here, I'm literally just going to go with the first book I read right down to the last book I read in June and what I rated the book and a quick little if I liked it or if I didn't. So if you like this video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and let's just get stuck into it. The first book I read was The Best Kind of Forever. This author is a new author. She reached out to me on Bookstagram and gave me an arc of her book. I will not be talking about this though because I just don't want to. And I really hope this book is successful for them, but it wasn't the book for me. So book number 2 for the month of June was The Edens as Legacy Story. This is a little novella. It's super tiny. It is about the mum and dad of the Eden series, which is Indigo Ridge, Juniper Hill and all that, and I absolutely loved this. I really wanted more. Like, that could have been turned into a proper 300 to 400 page book and I would have devoured it all that much. I did rate this one 5 stars because of how much I loved it. If you do read it, please know that it is a very short read, so I understand if you don't give it 5 stars because of that. The third book that I read in June is actually my favourite book of June. It got 5 stars. Iced Out by Veronica. This is a hockey romance, and it is everything you want and need in a hockey romance. This has your angst, it has your build-up, it has your banter. It's just so much fun. It is brothers rivals / rivals sister trope. I just love this. Easton goddamn Blake friends. Like, he is a top tier book boyfriend. It is available on Kindle Unlimited, so I highly suggest you go download it or get the paperback. I really loved Veronica Eden's writing style in this, and I can't wait to go and read more of her work. This definitely is taking #1 spot for my June top read. The fourth book that I read in June was Wrong for Me by Meagan Brandy. I read this on Kindle Unlimited. I am a huge Meagan Brandy fan. I went into this book completely blind. It's one of the last few that I had to read of hers before I've read all of her books. At first, I wasn't vibing it at all, and then the twists and turns this book took me on was absolutely insane. It isn't anything like she normally writes in like a college romance sense. It just completely blew my mind. At one point I wanted to throw my Kindle across the room because I just could not take it anymore. So this one I rated 4.5 stars. There were a couple little things in there that I didn't really like, but I do still highly recommend this one. It was a great read. The next book that I read in June was Coach by Devney. I am a huge Devney Perry fan now after reading the Eden series. So when I saw Coach, I was like, I have to read this. And I absolutely loved it. What I loved the most about this book was the fact that it was a workplace romance, but it was a college romance. But from behind the scenes, that's kind of what the vibes it gave me. I'm so used to reading college romance books where we are following the students. This time we were following the coach and his life and the staff that work in a college. And I thought that was just super cool. I absolutely loved it. I gave that book 4 stars. It was a super quick read. There were a couple of things in there that I didn't like, but overall it was such a good book and I really enjoyed it. The next 3 books that I read were for Pucking Around. So I read the prequel novella first that one night. Then I read Pucking Around, and then I read Pucking Ever After. Let me tell you, friends, these books, all smart. This book here is like 750 pages of smart. That one night novella is essentially the first, 4 to 5 chapters of this book, just cut out of this book. It's insane how big and thick this book is. And then if you add in the prequel and the book after this one, honestly, it's just one big story if you read all 3 of them together, because they're just follow-ons. The plot of this is ridiculous. The plot is literally how this female main character goes public with her relationship. This is a Why Choose RH book, so it follows your hockey team. The hockey in this was incredible. I loved the hockey scenes in this. I loved the guys. We have a bi-awakening in this too, which I really loved as well. I did enjoy it, but for me, I need a little bit more story to go with my smut. It was just too much for me. I was getting to a point where I was probably this far into the book and I was skimming the scenes because I got over reading them. It was too much. If you are new to the world of reading smut and you just want more and more of it, this is the book for you. But if you're someone like me who's been reading for years, you kind of get a bit over it very quick and you need more angst and more build up and more substance to your stories. So you might find this one to be a little bit too much. Overall though, it's still a really great read. Fun. It was a lot. So after reading Pucking Around and all that smart, it just got too much for me, so I decided to change it up a bit and I went for a thriller next. I read Hidden Pictures. This book was amazing. If you're going to read this book, I highly suggest you read it in paperback form, not on Kindle, because it does have pictures in the book and they're not very clear on a Kindle. Reading it in a paperback is definitely the way to go. I rated this book 4 stars. I really loved it. I really loved the twist at the end and how it all unraveled and things like that. There was just a little part there in the middle of the book where it started to drag a bit and I was getting a little bit bored with it. It picks up quite fast though, so I definitely recommend this one if you are into thriller books. The next book that I read was Sicko by Amo Jones. This was my first book by Amo Jones. Unfortunately, I rated this 1 star. It was not my vibe. I didn't like it. I didn't like the writing style. I didn't like the plot. I didn't like how choppy it was. I didn't like that it didn't make sense. It was a bit of a disappointment. So moving on. I then read Crimson River, which is the next book in the Eden series. This just came out. I read it the day it came out because I was so excited for it. I rated this one 4.5 stars. The only reason why it did not get 5 stars is because it was a little bit too insta-love, insta-lust, insta-like for me. Your MNC leaves a 3-year relationship and by the next chapter he's already met our female main character and is all of a sudden in love with her and wants to move on. If that didn't happen, if there is a little bit more of a build-up and a little bit more of a angsty type feel to it, would have gotten 5 stars hand down. I love how this book brought us back to Indigo Ridge feels with a bit of mystery in it as well. That whole series, the way Devney Perry, I know I've spoken about it a couple times, but the way that she writes is absolutely incredible. The things I would do to go to Montana now since reading this series is insane. So I highly recommend going and reading that Eden series by Devney Perry. So after I read Crimson River, I then went and picked up The Chase, which is the first book in the Breakaway series by Elle Kennedy. I have read the Off-Campus series and I loved the Off-Campus series minus the legacy. I did not vibe with the extended epilogues. I felt like that really took me away from the series and I didn't really like them. But each book itself was amazing, so I was super excited to dive into this Breakaway series. I won't lie though, I was holding off on reading this series because it's in the same college and we've met some of these players, it's a next generation type thing with the hockey team. And I just wasn't I was kind of scared that picking up the Breakaway series, I was just going to be reading the Off-Campus series all over again with different characters. That is not the case with this one. I absolutely loved Fitzy in this book. He's a tatted up, nerdy gamer who plays hockey. And I don't know about you guys, but that is so my vibe. And I was so into it. So I did really enjoy this one. It did just get 4 stars though. Wasn't holy crap incredible to me, but still really, really good. I still enjoyed it, so 4 stars. After the Chase, I didn't have book 2 yet, so then I went on and read First Down. This is everywhere on my Bookstagram page at the moment because I had a lot of Books to Friends sign up to the arcs for this book, so it really flooded my feed there for a while. Very popular on Bookstagram, and honestly, it was good. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't holy shit incredible. I love the brothers. It was just good. I think this book is actually a really good entry level into college romance books. There's better out there, but I still enjoyed it. After First Down, I finally received book 2 in the Breakaway series, The Risk. Look, this was good. I liked it. I didn't love it. There was a part of me there where I was kind of over it. I think I was like halfway through it, and if I was someone who DNF'd books, I might have actually DNF'd this because I just kind of got over it. Like, I just felt like it was a story that I've read a million times before. I pushed through a few chapters though, and then all of a sudden it picked back up and it actually became a book that I liked. So this one got 4 stars as well. I have not continued this series yet. 1, I don't have the paperbacks on hand. It's not available on Kindle Unlimited, and 2, it didn't really give me anything to make me want to continue the series. I definitely will because it's Elle Kennedy and I love Elle Kennedy's writing. It's just one of those series that's kind of gone on that I'll come back to you series. After reading 3 4-star books, I was kind of getting a bit slumpy. I kind of wanted something that I knew was going to like absolutely blow my mind. So when in doubt, pick up a Colleen Hoover book, and I reread Reminders of Him. I love this book so much. I reread it so I could annotate it. I'm so glad I did. Like, that last line in this book, like, if you know, you know, the last line, my heart, my poor heart, dear Scotty, like, this book is heavy. It's emotional. I did not cry, but it's emotional. It hurts. It weighs on you. It's a lot, but it's just one of my favourite Colleen Hoover books. If I could tie first place, it comes in at 3rd place. If I can't tie first place, it comes in at 4th place. Maybe one day I'll do a Colleen Hoover ranking video from top to bottom, because I think I'm only 3 books off reading everything of hers. Maybe I could do that soon. But if you haven't read Reminders of Him, what are you doing? I highly suggest you go read Reminders of Him. I just love this book so much. My last book that I read in June was Breakaway, which is book 2 to First Down. It follows the other brother. There's 3 brothers, so there's 3 books, and a sister. The 3 brothers each have a book out already, so I read Breakaway, which is a hockey romance. I gave this one 2.5 stars. It wasn't great, to be honest, and I think it's the first hockey romance I have read that I did not like. There was a lot of smut in it for a hockey romance. No angst, no build-up. A lot of odd things in this one. It just wasn't my favourite, okay? So we're not going to talk too much about it. It got 2.5 stars. That is my June wrap-up. 16 books. These are all the books I read in physical copies. Everything else I read on Kindle Unlimited. It was a big month. 16 books is a lot of books to read in a month, friends. So don't sit there and feel bad if you can't even read 2 books in a month, because I'm telling you now, me reading 16 books in a month does not happen very often. I think it's only ever happened once before, and that was back in December when I was on Christmas holidays. I don't know how I managed to read 16 books. There were a few in there that were novellas, so I guess that helped. I also used it as a coping mechanism because I was having a really hard month with my mental health, so that takes into place as well. Overall, it was an okay month. I wouldn't say it was like my best month. It definitely is a lot better than what my July month is turning out to be. My July month so far, friends, is absolutely atrocious. I've read so many 3-star books this month so far, but that's something we'll chat about next month. I hope you enjoyed this video, friends. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.